Hello everyone, we're a little bit short on time today. Um, Hello again to SimRacingOnline. Today is the Mexican race in Mexico. We get the GT3 and the DPI. Sorry, I just came in a rush. Had some stuff to do, but luckily we're here for the races. The qualifying already started. We got watching Tony Talviti right now, going through the track. Andrew Harper in the P2, about to start his finish lap as he's a qualifying lap. As he's flying through the first and second sector. Doing an amazing first and second sector. Let's see if I can finish it up. And yes, he does. All purple sectors are 127.6. Amazing lap by Andrew in his DPI car. John V. Guest looks like he switched to the DPI as well. We got a little bit of a frame issue. We get that sorted out. Looks like VD Guest is also on two purple sectors, as we have yellow in sector 2. Unfortunately, the issue of having that class RSS MSI DPI is still there. Not sure how is that going to be fixed, but yeah. VD Guest in first position in the qualifying at 127.4, only about 2/10 faster than Andrew Harper. Looks like our shot as well is about 1.5 seconds behind. The qualifying isn't that far. Isn't that far. Like the drivers aren't far from each other. It's a bit close. It's mostly straight lines in Mexico and sharp turns. The drivers have been a little bit complaining about this version, but it seems to be the one to go to. Because overall, the grip, the texture, everything is fine. It's just about some sausages. They have colors where you can't see them, so they just have to keep it on track on the wide line, and presumably everyone should be fine. Samir Arshad is about 1.5 seconds now. It looks like Andrew Harper. We're gonna try to show you the times and tell you the times in the order they're in. So right now, Jean V. Guest is the one leading in the DPI, followed by Andrew Harper, followed by Samir and Ricardo. So I know it shows Harper that he's in his own class, but that's not true. It's just a mod issue. So I don't think there's going to be a way around that. Maybe we'll give it another look, but so far Andrew Harper, it's what looks to be a presumably a custom livery, sending it through the track. As he improved on his first and third sector. John V. Guest also put a 27.0. As he goes through, touches the wall. That's gonna ruin his lap. The rule of escape is in place, so in order for him to get another shot, he must bring it back and escape in the pit lane. He can escape in the pit lane, but if he does that anywhere around the track, it'll be considered as getting out of the car and ultimately getting disqualified from the qualifying session. So it looks like he went through. He can escape. Yeah, there we go. He can escape there. As we try to go through to see what the GT3 is doing, Giuseppe Pastori leading this qualifying session at 133.0. As Joe Brown leaves the way to Giuseppe. Didier Coelho is also right behind him as he try to put that car on the curb, keep it steady. Looks like he went a little bit wide there, but so far the exit was good. He did not improve. He's actually about 1/10 slower in his first sector, but if he can get it done in this sector, it should be enough, because he's about more than half a second faster than his brother Nicola. But yeah, he did get a purple sector by a very little difference, 0.026 millisecond, as he tried to send it through that sharp turn. He's trying to open that wheel, trying to get early in the throttle, sending it to the start finish line, and looks like he did not improve on his time, but he's still leading us. But Nicola Pastori on the other side has improved, and he's relatively also close to his brother's time, but not by much, be about half a second. Looks like the best from the overlay, the best that Giuseppe can do is 33.0, but so far he's done a 33.2. Not sure, maybe the overlay is a little bit over the place. As Tony Talviti as well is about to finish his sector 3. He improved on but sector 3 was 4 seconds down, so this lap isn't gonna count as he goes again to the pit lane. Johnny Gutierrez is also giving up on his lap. He's about 1 second now behind, or about 2.1 seconds behind the leader. Looks like he's preparing for another lap, maybe a cool down lap. Joe Brown heads out to the pit, probably get new tires, fix damage if possible, and hit back again. Looks like he's slowing down a lot. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure about this pit speed limiter. That seems to be a very low speed. Maybe he's trying to get a clear track as he sets out for his qualifying lap. This should be the out lap, and then after, what a great shot right there. Running his custom livery as always, the green and gray, darkish color, absolutely beautiful. Didier Coelho on the other hand is also on the pit lane. Giuseppe also, as we see him getting out, possibly extend further that time, as he's only about half a second from his Nicola. Not sure if that time is safe, because Nicola right now also is in the garage, so he might also get out for another lap or another shot. Don Pardon is well sitting in the garage. He's done a lap of a 136.0, 2.9 seconds from the leaders. It'll be a good idea if he can get. He has about 3 minutes to get out and get a lap. So if there's any time to get out, this is the right time. As we see Richard Charlesworth also getting out. He's about P9 right now in the standing of the qualifying. Heading up for his first lap. Rob Milliken about to finish his first sector. You really need to keep the car steady here and focus on that exit, because there is a long straight coming out after. It looks like Rob Milliken possibly lost the car there a little bit as he heads out through that long straight line. Yeah, he's about a second, 9/10 from his best. We see a couple of yellows, probably from people pulling out, giving the way to other cars trying to qualify. Milliken, not sure if he's going to do anything different here, because he was about 9/10 away, so whatever he gained on this sector should even out the lap, and I think he should focus on his next lap. Michael Labella has crossed the line. 137 hasn't improved yet. Almost, John Guest almost got got in a crash with Michael Labelle. Ed Jones sitting in the garage. He hasn't done a time, and so does Gilles De Silva. None of them has set up a time. Sitting up right now, not sure why. It looks like there's a fight going on between Andrew Harper and John Guest. A 126.0 and a 126.6. They've been trading this position P1 and P2, Andrew and John Guest. Samir is also up there, about 1.1 second behind Guest. Ooh, Rob Milliken loses it there. Oh, and he escaped, so that means that's the end of the qualifying for Rob Milliken, as we see Andrew Harper only about 1/10 down from his best in his first sector. John Guest is also right behind, sits up a purple sector too. He goes through the roundabout looking like, I mean, it looks like a roundabout to me. It's a very tight corner. It should be easy for these cars to handle as he goes through that last corner. Is it going to be any different from the last lap at 26.4? He improved, but it was not enough to get him in the top. He still has one more lap if he can get the job done, but Andrew Harper is also on his lap, but he's about half a second on his sector 3 or sector 2, sorry. So not sure if he's gonna, I mean, he knows that, not sure if he knows that Guest is on his lap as well, but 27.7, yeah, that's a little bit too high. As John Guest is marching his way, only at 0.46 away from his lap. Trying to get this right. Goes a little bit wide to get that late apex. Does it well. As he approaches the corner, as the qualifying is finishes right now, as we see it, John Guest knows it. He must put a perfect lap if he's looking for a shot here. He's not that far from his best time, so he's going straight. Like he only had about like half a second to get as he gets a purple sector of 1/10, fast sector 2. As he goes through this tight corner, it loses it a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't take away the lap. As he sent it through the last corner, hammers that throttle all the way, keep it tight on the inside. Is it gonna be enough? And it's not enough at 26.4. P2 for John Guest. Absolute astonishing performance. As I am joined by Lorenzo, he's with me right now.
Hello everyone.
Well, looks like this is the end of
such a close quality.
Yeah, indeed. John Guest was hammering it.
He's actually P3, I think, though.
He is P2.
DPI.
P3 is Samir.
Yeah, but Harper is P1 and Da Silva looks to be... Oh, he didn't set any time.
No, he hasn't set any time. He's
oh, copy.
Yeah. Ricardo Riva takes the P4. Nicola Pastoli looks like he stole that time from his brother by 0.061. Absolutely nothing. That's a thin hair time.
They're running Lance Stern, basically.
Yeah, but looks like Tony Talviti is just behind them by 7/10, so it's gonna be a tight battle between the first three cars. Because Johnny Gutierrez looks like he didn't find his pace for this track. I was about 2 seconds behind.
We have seen Gutierrez not in his usual form with the GT cars.
Yeah, maybe. Looks like he... Yeah. Well, if you excuse me, Lorenzo, I have something to show for the viewers.
Oh, so, go ahead.
Stay tuned.
I think I know what you're thinking.
Yo, this is going to be a video, and I hope you guys enjoy it for this series.
try to fix. A bit of technical issues going on right now, guys. Please be patient. We'll show you something cool. Just wait for Twitch to behave properly. We are trying to set things up a little bit. Oh, hi Vlar in the chat. Thank you for following, man. Appreciate. Just to kill time, boys. If you want to be part of this championship, just be sure to check simracingonline.co.uk. They produce some great series on many sim racing games, and yeah, go check them out. They're really good guys, cool people. They're usually available for help if you need any help. So yeah, support the cause.
Welcome everyone to the S397 DPI Multiclass series, hosted by SimRacingOnline. Round 2 takes us to Mexico City, the premier racing circuit in Mexico. Spanning 4.3 kilometers or 2.6 miles long over 17 corners, Mexico City offers long straights, tight chicanes, and high-speed S sections. Finding the right setup between speed and stability is a key concern at this circuit, and the winner can ultimately be decided by who creates the best balance of these two. Multi-class racing can be increasingly difficult here. The long straights allow for easy passing, but getting stuck behind a slower class through the tight chicanes or the high-speed curves can cause a serious toll in lap time. This will make for a very exciting second round to the championship. My name is Will Caligari, Ether Racing Team's development driver, and I will take you on board for a lap around Mexico City. So, on board the number 58 Ether Racing Corvette, coming out of the final turn. So it's very important to get the car out as far as possible to carry as much speed as you can onto the straight. We'll get up to about 165 miles per hour. Good chance to look at your mirrors, check your data real quick. One more bump right here, and then we will brake at the 100. Find that apex, try to bring the car right to it, but be careful with that sausage curb. Now here, for the left-hander, keep it as far left as possible so you can get his best exit. Don't run over the curbs, you may bottom the car out and lose a little bit of speed. So after turn 3, we get another chance to take a quick break. You can look at your mirror, check your data, and then once again we will brake at the 100. Bring it in turn 4, as keep the car as far to the left as possible. Now back to the right, only run the rumble strips again. It's a fool's apex right here. Bring the car to the second farther apex, all the way through the curb, use as much track as possible. Now for turns 7 through 11, the sweeping corners, bring it in, use as much of the track as you can, but try not to run over the curbs. Curbs are really sharp right here. Down to second, keep the car into the right. Now flat out all the way through here, might lose the rear a little bit just like that, but not too bad. Just keep your foot down as best you can. Now the stadium section, coming into turn 12, a little bit of brakes at the 100, try to roll that speed through the corner all the way out to the white line. Now for turn 13, we look for a late apex to put the throttle down very positive for 14 and 15 right here. Coming to turn 16, just to squeeze the brake, let the car roll through the corner, and nice and out through turn 17. And that's a lap around Mexico City.
Well, courtesy of Will Caligari, guys, driver for our team, good friend, great driver, and be sure to follow us to find out more racing tips by the man himself. That was a lap of Mexico City, Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Historic track, really, was built at the beginning of the 60s. became famous thanks to Pedro Rodriguez, the Mexican drivers. Now, for the grid order, Nicola Pastore takes the lead in GT3, with Joe Brown taking the P5. Anyway, the Pastore boys are really on fire today. Barrett Ericsson in P6 on the McLaren, Rob Milliken in P7, Tom Parton, one of the few Bentleys on the field, in P9, and Richard Charlesworth, the rookie, in P10. Michael Lobel, the guy we have seen in LMP2 in the previous series, lines up in P11. Ed Jones in P12 for the Swift Triangle full livery, blue and white McLaren. As we now see the guys making their way up to turn 1 for the first time in the formation. John Vidiguest in P1 for DPI, Samir Arshad and Ricardo Riva in Okay, they tell me there's an issue with the field. John Vidiguest is actually P3 because there's an issue with the class car on the R Factor 2 mod. So you're actually watching the 3rd, 4th and 5th guys on the field, being John Vidiguest, Samir Arshad and Ricardo Riva. Andrew Harper is the guy taking pole position, as we now see them go around the middle sector. Such a tricky sector with the high curbs. It's really easy to lose the back of the car. The S's must be nailed to get a good lap time. It's a very, very tricky section, very tight as well. You can see it's almost one and a half times the width of the car, so it's really tough to overtake here. Andrew Harper leading the formation lap, which is coming to the amazing stadium section, probably the best looking part of the track, especially for the fans. Lots of fans come here every year, to watch the F1 race and the WEC occasionally when they race here as well. So it's a good track, Mexico. It's an underrated track as well. Unfortunately, they made some changes to the runoff areas, and this has made it a bit tricky, but overall a good track. As we now see the DPI's prototypes making their way to the front straightaway, and we will go racing when Andrew Harper decides to dictate the pace. Green flag is waving, and Andrew Harper immediately starts, and look at that, Andrew Harper taking the lead immediately, and also a good start from Samir Arshad as well, jumping John Vidiguest immediately. Andrew Harper, look at the gap that the P1 guy has over P2. Amazing stuff. Samir Arshad off to a great start, but he misses the braking point as John Vidiguest is also harassing him. Andrew Harper really trying his best. As we now switch to Nicola Pastore in GT3, which is leading now into turn 1. Giuseppe Pastore is slightly behind him, but overall it's a BMW front lockout at the moment, with Tony Paldice following closely in P3, Johnny Gutierrez P4, so first 4 cars are all BMWs, as we now see Nicola Pastore up into the turn 4, 5, 6 section. The BMW working perfectly with the sunny condition. A bit of a bug there because the Factor 2 is kind of weird in some circumstances. Now, I have seen these Pastore boys go at it, but overall it's been quite a good balanced field, with Johnny Gutierrez right here protecting himself from Barrett Ericsson McLaren. As we now approach the S's section. Look at Andrew Harper with a time of 1 minute and 29.6. Fastest lap of the race currently in P1 DPI class. The closest competitor, believe it or not, is 3 seconds off his pace, which is Samir Arshad, just following behind him.
But it looks like VDS had an issue. He was P2 and Samir
Yeah,
somehow
he-
took that from
he
him.
basically was caught sleeping by Arshad. We really jumped him quite quickly, to be quite fair. And one thing I was concerned about was the GT cars crashing into the first chicane.
Yeah,
But apparently that didn't happen.
thankfully. Andrew Harper is sending it through that
Yeah, it's
S
very
corner.
fast.
I was gonna ask you, Lorenzo, if that livery is custom or not.
I think so. That's the first time I see it. So
Yeah.
it's pretty clean and nice dude. That's a weird cars, but they work. They really work.
Yeah, it took me by surprise because I didn't know if I saw this before. As I took a look at the cars and the DPI, but I don't think I came across this livery, and it's looking damn good.
It's really good as his pace because he's now clear from everybody behind him. So Harper really putting on a show, as the Pastore boys are currently running P1 and P2.
Yeah, Gutierrez got a penalty somehow.
Oh, Gutierrez got a penalty. That's probably due to some contact, maybe.
Could be contact, it could be a track issue, because we know it's easy to get a cut on this track. But the thing is, there is some sort of sausages that they have the same, from what I heard from the drivers, they have the same color as the grass, so they're invisible to see until you hit them. But then you still get a cut for that. So hopefully Gutierrez doesn't ruin his race, as it's only the start.
Yeah, the TV broadcast is focusing on Harper because look at how he's aggressive on those
Yeah.
curbs. He really doesn't need to push these hard because he's already almost 5 seconds clear from the closest competitor, being Samir Arshad in P2. Look at the gap that this guy is building in 1.5 laps.
Yeah, it looks like there's the cars, since they're different. I'm sure there is a Mazda and there is another Mazda. They're different cars, so the game thinks it's different classes and it puts them separates them. But the reality is that Harper is leading and he's followed by Samir, VD and then Riva. I think I might as well switch to mixed, that way it doesn't confuse people.
Yeah, it could be the solution.
As we'll try to keep it this way. So everyone with the green color, for the viewers watching, that should be the GT3 and the rest should be the DPIs. So anyone with color or no color than a green is a DPI. Hopefully it's because we've looked at it before and it seems like it can't be fixed. Guest is hammering Samir Arshad, sends him through the inside. Samir gives him the position, but he looks like he went wide and decided to just tuck back. As
Yeah,
Ricardo
the stewards
Riva,
will want to have a look at that because that was on the limit right there.
it was on the limit, yeah, but Ricardo Riva is now stalking Samir Arshad. They're on the same team, but hopefully they work together and not try to fight each other, because that can only be good news for John VDS.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Ricardo Riva looks to be faster right now than Arshad, but Arshad doesn't want that P3 to go away. And look at John VDS building the gap already. Look at that.
Yeah, VDS is just selling, and it looks like Ricardo Riva is being hurt by the split stream caused by Samir. So maybe he needs to back down a little bit and just start following his trail. The Pastore guys, it looks like there's a bond, and I'm sure it's not just a family bond, but it's also something in the cars.
These guys are going at it though. Look at that. They're not.
Whoa, that was some weird purposing.
The curb producing some weird aerodynamic effects in these cars.
Yeah, that's some new level of purposing. But they're always this close. I mean, their time was like a thin hair. It's almost as if it's the same person driving the car. This Pastore is...
Especially with the same BMW.
It is the same car, but it's not the same driver. I mean, it can't be. As the driver following them is Tony Talviti, about 4 seconds, going up to 5 seconds. Looks like the...
I'll tell you one thing though, Nas. The gap is building up towards Talviti. but you do not want to have Tony Talvicia lurking in your rear mirrors. I'll tell you that. He's a terrific driver, and he has shown that over the course of the previous championships, and also in the first race.
Yeah, Tony Talviti is a man that can handle his car and drive at the limit of the car, but also watching over those tires, and that should give him an advantage, because not sure if he's holding up his pace, because it seems like it's going up from 4 to 5 to 4 to 5, so it's not going anywhere than that. Maybe he had an issue in the start, but he's not out of the race
Sorry
yet.
to interrupt you, Nas, but I think Arshad is lurking John Villegas. We might want to switch to that as well. Apparently, is Ricardo Riva actually?
Yeah, it is Ricardo Riva now trying to put the pressure. I think he sees that Samir. Yeah, he knows that Samir is not, maybe doesn't hold the pace right now to catch Villegas, so he's maybe thinking about passing him. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm sure they're on the same team radio, so probably it will be a better idea for them to switch, because it looks like this is hurting Ricardo Riva. He seems to be having the better pace than Samir Arshad. Let's see how this unveils. As the last lap of Ricardo Riva was almost half a second faster than Samir, so I think this is just hurting them, as Samir can work out with Ricardo if he lets him pass by, but after all, he's not obliged unless there's some team orders going on. Not sure what's going on there. Alright, we will have a chat with them when they're done to see what's going on through this, but meantime, Johnny Gutierrez 6 to 10 seconds now behind Tony Talviti. What happened to this guy? I mean, I'm not trying to downplay the guy, but it seems that Johnny is suffering something. Because his last race was an absolute domination, but this race, his pace is just not it. It's just not in. It's not in the right mood. I don't know. Something is going on with Johnny Gutierrez. Hopefully, he gets that sorted out in the race and not after.
It's weird though. He usually gets this kind of penalty for the start. I'm not sure. Maybe he jumped the procedure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forgot about the penalty, because that was actually put him all the way behind.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I have no idea, honestly.
It's certainly weird.
And that actually puts him on the back foot for the championship, because he already had not a dismal race, but a bad result in the first race at Suzuka. So no idea really what's gonna happen. That's Sepang, sorry. Not sure what the drive-through was, but it's a harsh penalty. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Joe Brown is having a a chit-chat with the Silva.
Yeah, the Bentley working almost better than the LMP2 in that final corner.
It looks like the Silva was making his way up through the GT field, because he started from the back.
It's a tricky job. The final section is very, very tight. And as we speak, Ricardo Riva has overtaken Arshad.
I mean, this might be...
Yeah, look at that. Look at the gap the guy already has.
Something must have happened to Samir. Maybe he went wide. But this...
it
loses it there.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Fortunately, the track is clear, so it didn't...
I mean, hopefully we didn't curse Lorenzo.
But yeah, look, Nas, the last few races have been crazy. I say one thing, and then the second after, the thing happens. It's so weird. I have been jinxing everyone, so I apologize to the watchers and also to the guys racing, because it looks like I have some kind of weird power.
Yeah, what's surprising to me, Lorenzo, is that everything we say turns out to the opposite thing, and it just happens in front of our eyes, and it's mind-boggling.
Ricardo Riva is now having to deal with Johnny Gutierrez in front. Johnny Gutierrez served his drive-through, so he's being lapped now by the DPIs.
I think Ricardo has a shot to catch up to John Villegas. He just needs to keep his head down. His last lap was a 28-1, but that's because he was fighting Samir. Things happened, but I think he's got a shot.
To keep an eye on the timesheets, because he did a great first sector.
Indeed, yeah.
He should target the mid 27s to try and worry John Villegas and Andrew Harper. John Villegas is actually the fastest DPI on the track right now.
He is.
His last lap was a 26.9, so he's really on it. John Villegas. He wants that P1.
Indeed, Tom Parton is also chasing Rob Milliken, not giving him an inch to breathe.
It's such a good battle between these British manufacturers. The Bentley looks heavy but agile at the same time. Rob Milliken, on the other hand, on the BMW, is still trying to find a better setup. He was probably trying to find a good, decent trade-off with the car. We know he has been on the back foot in the last few races, but still, he's been able to produce some clean racing, and he's been able to also optimize the results at the expense of the other guys. I mean, we know there have been quite a few crashes at Sepang, and Rob was one of the guys who benefited from that, and actually gained a few places. So you never know, and you never give up in this game. Oh, look at Ricardo Riva lapping Ed Joseph in such a dangerous point of the track. The McLaren being very, very clean. So good driving from both of the drivers there. And we now see Joe Brown in the beautiful green and black Bentley. We have seen this livery on many cars, all driven by Joe Brown. The Porsche, for example, in the S397 Endurance Series.
Let's look. Tom Parton got a split stream right there.
Look at the craft he has. The Bentley has tremendous top speed. Look at that.
Wow, look at the speed they're passing. John Villegas is about to lap them. Hopefully he doesn't interrupt.
Yeah, John Villegas will not be happy with the battle going on in front of him because he's going to lose time for sure.
I mean, Tom
Oh,
Parton.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah. It's going to happen in the straight. This is good news. This is absolutely good news.
He should be able to do the pass now.
Ooh,
But look at the BMW
what?
cutting him off.
I think he didn't see him.
Yeah, I was busy watching the rearview mirrors for Tom Parton right there. The Bentley being very, very big behind him. Now, look at the exit to the Bentley car. It's very agile, I'll tell you that.
I mean, Tom Parton
Looks like it's working pretty good, although
does,
it's very loose out of the corners.
he's being held up by Rob Milliken. He needs to, as a famous guy said, to dispatch him. Really
Also,
quick.
Villegas, something happened to Harper. So Villegas is actually in front of Harper. It was the other way around before that.
How is that possible?
I have no idea.
It's about 6 seconds now.
P1. Probably made a mistake. Harper.
I mean, Ricardo Riva didn't lose time to the leader, so Andrew Harper is the one that probably got into something.
I think he got maybe compromised by a low car.
Most likely. He's not the type of guy to make
Look at
mistakes.
Ricardo Riva, he's right there. What's happening to Andrew Harper? Ricardo Riva has gained a tremendous amount of time.
He is indeed, yeah, he is. About now 4 seconds
So
behind
maybe
Andrew Harper.
John Villegas and Harper tango, and we didn't see that.
I mean, Andrew Harper isn't the type of guy to put the car in the pole and then makes a silly mistake, so I assume something must have happened, maybe with traffic.
Yeah, probably.
Must have happened for sure. As Ricardo Riva is about to interrupt the battle going on between Parton and Rob Milliken.
Yeah, but those are not the only GT cars he's gonna have to pass. He has to hope that Barrett Ericsson really makes way for him because he's chasing right now and he doesn't want to lose time. Now, the GT cars have been very close today. I was expecting some bigger gaps, to be quite fair. The Pastore boys are playing it safe for now, lapping about 1.5 seconds faster than everybody else at the moment.
It looks like they're working together, Timmy Lorenzo.
The only car keeping it up with Pastore is Talvice, showing how good and versatile he is. Joe Brown also on some good lap times. All the other guys are lapping over the 38 mark, so not really in contention for a top 5 finish, I would say.
I mean, Tony Talviti is, I mean, he can see them, look at that. He can see that they're there, he knows, if anything, but they're not, the thing is, just the Pastore guys are being smart about it, they're not fighting. They're working together. Given this, I assume Giuseppe will be having a slight advantage in terms of fuel saving because he's behind, but they're working together, which has turned out to be a great thing for them as Tony Talviti is catching up, but slowly but surely. as he makes his way through the hairpin. Fairly smooth, keeping it simple. Nothing crazy, no throwing cars, just taming those tires and keeping it clean.
Yeah, look at the way he takes the curb with such delicacy.
Yeah,
Look at that.
smoothness
The
as well.
car
Yeah.
is settled, and we got a yellow flag in sector 2. Somebody went wide, probably. Yeah, it's called clear now. There we see Gilda Silva maybe tangling with Andrew Harper. Look at that. Andrew Harper is falling back. Middle of the grid. I don't know what is going on with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is turning out to be great for Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricardo Rivas is recovering. Look at that. He's now
he's
up to the DPI front runner.
The Silva is lapped. He's on blue flag. He gives the way.
Yeah, but look at that. That's Harper in front of Ricardo.
That is Harper indeed. As Ricardo goes a little bit wide. Hopefully, he doesn't get a
Yeah,
cut
these
from that.
curbs are unforgiving. They're very high and completely destabilizes the car. Now, Ricardo Riva has been putting on some great laps. I'm checking the timesheet, and Ricardo Riva was lapping in the high 28s, as well as John Villegas and Andrew Harper. So he's really in contention for surely a podium. Let's see if something better unravels for him.
I mean, he's already P3, so he knows it can only get better from now, because Samir looks like he's not in his best shape and form today. About 10 seconds behind his teammate Ricardo Rivas. He's usually the guy to have the better or the upper hand, but looks like this time Ricardo Riva is showing his claws. He's hunting for that P3 right now. And,
yeah, Ricardo Riva with many years of experience in sim racing, really showing his fangs to Harper in front, and Harper is a very fast guy, but he cannot relax having Ricardo behind him. Now, Villegas is the only guy who is in a safe position now, because should Harper and Riva battle, Villegas can actually relax. He's lapping the mid-28s now. He's actually matching Harper and Ricardo Riva, so not really a big difference, but a few meters of track position.
Yeah, Joe Brown as well was sitting on a P4. He's not too far behind Tony Talbiti, but he's kind, I mean, sort of safe. About 5 seconds ahead of Barrett Ericsson.
I'll tell you what, Nas, I was not expecting the Bentleys to work this good. Because the Bentley is a car which requires very large tracks and also longer straights than this one. Really isn't an agile car in the change of direction. And Mexico, as we know, as Will said in the hot lap video, is a track that requires a nimble car. And the Bentley really is not that kind of car, but it's working pretty damn good today.
Yeah, indeed, the Bentleys are showing great performance today. Absolutely killing. I think after the BOP, when they added more power, it turns out to be great in the straight line. So it's definitely the car to go for if you're aiming for that straight line speed. It seems to be the better car to have. It's like Mexico is just the best track for it right now. As Andrew Harper almost touches Tony.
Getting compromised by Tony Television. This is critical for the DPI battle.
Yeah, it's gonna slow him down.
Respecting the blue flags here. This is gonna cost harshly to Andrew Harper.
Yeah, it looks like Tony's being a little bit aggressive. Goes wide, knows that yeah, should have gave him the position before, but thankfully it didn't end up horribly. But this.
Oh, we got a yellow flag at sector 1, by the way. Somebody made a mistake, probably.
Yeah, it looks like somebody made a mistake. Unfortunately, the overlay doesn't let us know where's the yellow. It just tells us. As Giuseppe is all over his relative.
Yeah, Andrew Harper again getting stuck behind the GT cars. So unfortunate for Andrew today with the lapping maneuvers. He's now going on the inside of Pastore. Now clear. Now Riva will be coming behind these guys.
I mean, it's going to be the same story for Riva, because he has to get past them too.
It's now even worse because we're approaching the middle sector where the S's are, and the track gets tighter here. So let's keep an eye on Riva. Maybe onboard would be nice. Yeah, look at that. He's having to back off in the middle of the corner because the BMW won't move. Oh, and something happened there. He jumped on the curbs. Yeah, that's an R Factor 2 moment.
Looks like he's hesitant to pass them. This is gonna.
Yeah, he's playing it safe.
But this
Maybe
is
he's
too.
confident he has the pace to catch Harper.
I don't know if I agree with this, Lorenzo. This is a bit too dangerous, too risky. I mean, I understand.
The Pastoros might actually risk a penalty if they don't let the DPI by.
Yeah, he's gonna cause a penalty to the guys. I mean, they're running. I'm sure they're running on the same team, so not sure what's going on.
It's a weird situation, but let's see how Riva can cope with the situation.
I think
he's got clear track. Harper is in front of him, matching his lap times.
Yeah, but he lost about 4 seconds, Lorenzo. He's about 6 seconds now behind.
He gained 10 seconds in the space of 3 laps. So let's see.
I think the intention was to let them fight and then pass them when it's the straight line, but it only compromised his gap between him and Andrew.
Look at Talvice closing up on the front runner in GT class.
Yeah, he's lurking. He's right there.
It's an old BMW battle today.
It is.
Pastore boys working together to get away, but the drive is really crazy here because you can actually gain big time on the straight, but then in the middle sector you really need to distance yourself from the car in front of you. Otherwise, turbulent air will mess your front end aerodynamics, and you will not produce enough grip on those front tires. We know how mechanical grippy these GT3 cars are, but you need really a good amount of downforce here.
Ericsson, looks like this is the first time I think I've ever seen him in a McLaren.
Yeah, and I was about to say, just to extend on the Bentley, the thing I was saying about the Bentley earlier, the car I expected to be the strongest competitor here was the McLaren, because we know the McLaren has a monocoque chassis made of carbon fiber, and it makes it so rigid that in the changes of direction, the McLaren is very, very reactive. But we haven't really been able to see the full potential here, probably because it's so difficult to set up this particular car, the 720S. So yeah, I was expecting the McLaren to be quite faster than anybody else in the middle sector, but apparently that's not been the case.
Johnny Gutierrez is about to pass Rob Milliken, gets on his inside. Surely he's gonna get the pass done. Still side by side. Rob Milliken is ahead of him.
Good defense though.
Yeah, good defense. This opens up the battle for Richard as well. He's trying to go around the outside. I don't think it's the right move. Maybe he's trying to get a cutback as Johnny Gutierrez. Ed Jones is joining the battle.
Almost sideways there. Gives a good chance to the McLaren now up the straight away.
This is the battle for the 12th place.
And look at Rob Milliken messing the last corner up. Oh, went into the pits there.
Yeah, he went to the pit. Maybe he decided to play the strategy game. But Ed Jones.
Yeah, maybe it was a fake. Look at John VD Guest. Look at the speed differential on the DPI.
Yeah, so many cars battling right now. Johnny Gutierrez looks like
and Johnny Gutierrez dive bombing inside where Rob Milliken shuts the door.
Yeah, decided to play it safe. I think Rob Milliken was a bit aggressive there, shutting that door, but Johnny Gutierrez was smart enough to back up and play it safe. But it's opening the battle for Ed and Richard. Let's look at the split stream Richard is getting from Johnny Gutierrez. He's thinking about sending it, doesn't do it.
Yeah, Johnny Gutierrez really having to protect himself from Richard Charleston. I'm sure Johnny Gutierrez didn't expect himself to be fighting
goes wide a little bit.
and defending, because he's usually the attacker.
Yeah, this is a difficult spot for Johnny Gutierrez. He's being chased by Richard and Ed Jones while also having to pass Rob Milliken, which he's not making it easy at all. It spreads out in the S corners, but as long as they get in the straights and slow speed, they start stacking up and things get hot and interesting. Ed Jones is falling down a little bit.
By the way, we do have news about one of the earlier yellow flags. Unfortunately, Tom Harton's car broke down. He was having lag issues and damaged the car. We have been told.
Unfortunate event for Tom Parton. This is the second race consecutively where things go wrong for him.
And it was also up for a good result. So such a shame to see him retire like this.
sure he'll get some points for it, but the intention was to finish the race and not just to get points. So hopefully he bounced back from this. The battle is still going on between. It's about 6 cars or 5 cars here, Lorenzo. It's Ed Jones,
Yeah.
Richard, Johnny, Rob, Michael LaBelle.
It's all to play for. Look at the field. This is a great racing, man. We were not expecting this the GT field to be this close. As well, that's a McLaren following a BMW, which is not what we expected. The McLaren really struggling to keep the straight line speed that this big front engine car are able to perform. And look at the Audi R8. That's the only Audi R8 entry for this series. Michael LaBelle really putting a shot for him today.
Tony Gutierrez is all over Rob Milliken.
Yeah, look at that.
He's decided to stick on
On
the
the
inside. He's gonna go
outside,
wide.
that's
Richard
not
is on
gonna
his
work
inside. Ooh, loses a position to Richard.
Oh, Charles Ward.
Oh, he's gonna go hard on it. Oh, they're gonna touch. I knew this was gonna come in. Johnny Gutierrez should have not done that. He could have waited there. Wow, he really.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that was a heavy damage probably for Charlesworth as well.
Yeah, Richard looks like he was the victim
man.
right here. Johnny technically should get the position back, or I don't know how the rules work. Maybe serve a drive-through on his own. That was indeed a little bit too aggressive. He could have waited there and not just dive bomb on Richard, but yeah, it is what it is. But it only I mean, I don't understand the intention there, because it only compromised Johnny Gutierrez.
Yeah, it's probably Johnny got cracked under pressure a little bit there. It's a rare moment, but
Yeah, look how much time. Look at the distance he lost now to Ed Jones and Rob Milliken.
Yeah,
it was
also it will also have to face damage because that was a big contact.
It was definitely not worth it. That move was definitely not worth it. Hopefully Richard bounces back as well. He's about 3 seconds now behind Johnny Gutierrez. Hopefully he's not mad about it, because this is the important thing a driver needs to have, is to calm down. Even when things doesn't go your way, calm down. Follow the plan. Follow the game plan. Hopefully Richard, the Samir, is a little bit get obstructed there by Ed Jones. Takes his time. Go around the inside of Ed Jones. Wow, Michael LaBelle looks like this is his day has been saved. He was being followed by 4 cars behind him, trying to get his position.
Yeah, but you know, he built himself a good situation. He held his place, kept his cool. So good racing from Michael LaBelle. I think this guy was underrated because he drove the LMP2s in the previous series and he was really not getting any results. But he's really making a show for himself with the Audi R8. A beautiful car, by the way, with the dark green livery. So yeah, happy to see that.
Absolutely astonishing as we cross the 1 hour mark. Ed Jones is now. I mean, Rob Milliken was had to battle with Johnny Gutierrez, and now more trouble comes out as Ed Jones is right behind him. Let's see what Rob is gonna do about it.
But look at the McLaren just doesn't have enough speed to really make a move on the braking here in turn 1. The BMW just is able to stretch the gap a little bit. Although the McLaren is better off traction, but look at the gap. Look at the BMW getting smaller. The picture.
Yeah,
He has better top speed and probably works quite as good as the McLaren under braking.
I think they might be running different downforce, but overall the BMW is faster, even when Ed Jones is chasing him in the split streak.
I reckon the McLaren is running more downforce because it's a very loose car. Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, and the BMW is a front-engine car. It's a rear-wheel drive as well, but it's a very different weight distribution. Rob Milliken getting a little bit out of shape there, but is able to get away with it.
Yeah,
Once the curbs, McLaren being more tidy. Yeah, look at the McLaren has tremendous power braking, and Johnny Gutierrez really gaining time now. He's right back with these guys.
He was able to cut that time.
Yeah, apparently the BMW didn't have that heavy of a damage.
Well, it wasn't a heavy. It was just more of a time that lost. That, as I think, yeah, Rob Milliken is playing the strategy game.
Rob Milliken is pitting.
Yeah.
That's an early pit stop.
It is an early
That's a
pit
very
stop, but
early
I don't
pit
think
stop.
he did pit yet. This is his first pit
No,
stop.
that's his first. Yeah, but it's still early. There's
I mean,
almost 1 hour left.
he might have been running like a medium fuel tank, and then to get like better
Yeah.
speed, and then put a full
Yeah, that
tank.
would explain his pace. He was really on a cracking lap times.
Yeah, I think that was the approach, was to run a medium tank, like a medium or low tank fuel, and then by the hour mark pit, put a full tank and just sell and make your way through the whole race. Probably was the game plan. Turned out to be a good plan for him, actually.
Yeah, as we speak, Andrew Harper is flying on the track. He just made 26.691, which is a great lap considering the tire condition. Is pretty much matching John Vitigas, which is lapping the 126.9 as well. You won't believe this, Nas, but John Vitigas' last lap was at 126.981. And Andrew Harper's lap was at 126.971. So really 10 milliseconds separate the P1 and P2.
Yeah, and I believe it was the fastest lap.
John Vitigas has track position.
Oh, a new best lap.
28 seconds of track position.
Vitigas is hammering that car. Best lap for him.
He's responding to Harper.
Because he knows Andrew Harper is a quick driver, so there's no room to make mistakes and do clumsy mistakes. As Labelle is in the pit.
Yeah, so early pit stops here. Maybe the trend of the cars is to start on lower fuel load and then try to be conservative in the second stint.
Yeah, most likely looks like it's the plan that people are trying to do, as Labelle is pitting right now, changing his tires as well.
Or maybe, Nas, maybe due to tire usage, this is going to be a two-stopper. What do you reckon?
I reckon it's just a one-stop, since they pitted now in this... I mean, it could be two pit stops, but then again, that would be very hard to pull. Let's see how this...
Yeah, it costs about 28 seconds to make a pit stop. With
Look at Harper!
Pit lane time and...
Look at Harper, Lorenzo, responding with another best lap to John John Vitigas.
These guys are flying, absolutely flying. 126.582 by John Vitigas.
Their time is identical.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. The Ricardo Riva and Samir Arshad are not able to respond at this stage, as well as Gilles da Silva, which is unfortunately quite slow, is about 4 seconds off the pace. Maybe track condition is improving, because also Samir Arshad is improving a little bit. He's lapping the low 28s, high 27s, so maybe track is getting a bit of rubber on it.
Yeah, Samir's pace is nowhere to be seen. His best lap was a 28.1, about 2 seconds slower than Andrew and John Vitigas. He's having a nightmare of a race today. Not sure what the DT stands for, but Samir gets a penalty, Lorenzo.
A drive-through, it's a drive-through penalty.
Oh my god.
Probably track limits. It's probably due to track limits. I think they need to be careful how wide they go in the middle sector there, but drive-throughs are very harsh here. They cost you about 28 seconds overall, since the pit exit is right. It's parallel to the pit straight, obviously, but
yeah. So
this is a quick track, so you really lose time, and Sam smartly services penalty right now.
Yeah, so I was now I feel a little bit dumb telling you what is a DT, and then suddenly looking up and see a penalty. It's a drive-through for Samir.
Dismal day for Samir at the moment. Drive-through is not what we need to have.
I mean, I don't think the drive-through is going to do anything. Maybe put him in a compromised position for the Silva to maybe get that P4.
I reckon it's clear from the Silva. The P4 is really safe, but he was battling with Riva, and possibly aiming at Harper at the end of the race. So it's not what he needed for sure.
Yeah, fortunate advance for Samir Arshad. Not the race he was expecting for sure. As Andrew Harper, 15 seconds, Lorenzo. from 20
yeah,
to 15 seconds.
they're exchanging quality lap times.
Yeah, it
That's,
looks like.
it's an outstanding pace.
Not sure if it's smart from the guys to do this and smashing the tires. Maybe keep the pace down, chase the 27 mark, and just keep it steady and calm as you see another car in the pit. Yeah, it's Richard going to the pit. Johnny Gutierrez, I see, is all over Ed Jones. Yeah, but going back to Andrew Harper, he's really like he went down from 22 seconds, I believe, to 17 seconds. Sometimes going down to 15.
Very fast lap times. Now VDS has backed off a little bit in the last few laps. Probably had to deal with some lapped cars.
Yeah, it could have been
Harper,
lap
on the
laps.
other hand, lapping at 1:26.578, new fastest lap of the race.
Yeah,
He's not going to be able to do that again, though, because Johnny Gutierrez and Ed Jones are having a battle, and he's almost getting collected there by the red BMW. So close racing, but John Villegas needs to pay attention.
Johnny Gutierrez, man. Ooh, Ed Jones goes wide.
Oh, and Johnny Gutierrez almost hit him. So
Yeah, I didn't even get the chance to speak.
These guys are having the best battle of the day, man. They're exchanging overtakes and mistakes and fast lap times. Alternatively, as we see now, Charlesworth in the pits, probably fixing damage because that's a long pit stop.
Yeah, it looks
And
like
Michael Labelle as well in the pits. What's happened to Michael Labelle?
a penalty for Richard. My God.
Probably pit limiter, maybe.
Is it-
Yeah, it's a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, it's
No,
stop and go, 10-second
Stop
penalty.
and go, 10 seconds stop and go. Remember, with the stop and go penalty, the mechanics cannot touch the car, so that's actually worse than a drive-through.
What a
actually,
nightmare
because you
for
need to-
Richard.
Yeah, that's bad. It's really bad.
It's absolutely bad, yeah. That is race ruined. I mean, this is going to give the chance to Michael Labelle to pass him.
Yeah, if Michael Labelle gets on with it, then yes.
Yeah, but let's not forget Michael Labelle pitted, so that's why he's in the position he is right now. Most of the guys ahead of him hasn't pitted yet. But what a shame for Mr. Richard.
Yeah, it's such a shame. He showed great pace at the beginning.
Yeah, unfortunately he was collected by Johnny Gutierrez. Not sure what's gonna happen after the race, the post-race, so yeah. I mean, if anything can be happen, what are they gonna do? I mean, give it 10 second or 30 second to go to Johnny Gutierrez, so it's not gonna help Richard. A race to forget, but it's not over. It's 49 minutes to go, so let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. So Rob Milliken gets another drive-through. What is going on, Lorenzo? I don't understand anymore.
Something is weird with the pit limiter, I think, because Rob Milliken got a drive-through right after his pit stop, and he chose to serve it as late as possible, which was a good move because he now finds himself battling with Johnny Gutierrez again.
Johnny Gutierrez was a lap down.
Serving a stop-and-go penalty.
Yeah, Johnny Gutierrez was a lap down, Lorenzo, so he didn't make any
Yeah.
decision. And actually, a lap ahead, sorry, he was a lap ahead. As see a sad BMW about to serve its...
And also, as we speak, Talvice is now P2. He passed Giuseppe Pastore.
Was it? No, I think Giuseppe went to the pit, so that's why he's ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
He's
going to be
now-
for too long. I'm not sure about the undercut and how it works here.
Yeah,
Maybe
I was not expecting people to come into the pits at this stage. I was expecting a later pit stop, to be quite fair. Tony Talvice then, gaining track position on Giuseppe Pastore, is now almost 4 seconds down on Nicola, so really holding his space up.
Tony Talvice is leaning on those tires.
Yeah,
Absolutely extracting
he's
the grip.
probably gonna pit now to cover up from.
Yeah, most
Giuseppe
likely. He has to. I mean, everybody most likely pitted right now, so... I think Giuseppe needed to try if the undercut works, so that's why Nicola stayed. So if Tony wants to pit, this is going to be the best time for him to go to the pit. As he decides not to. Not sure why. Following Rob Milliken. Lapped cars, by the way. So Nicola Pastore is leading right now, about to pass a lapped car. Ed Jones.
Yeah, that's McLaren of Ed Jones.
Yeah, Tony Talviti is catching up to Nicola Pastore, so... Even Nicola is putting himself in danger to not pit right now.
Yeah, look at Nicola now getting a bit compromised by Ed Jones, but really nothing the McLaren could have done there to avoid any time issues. Nicola Pastore able to make the pass before the corner, so good stuff. Now, Talvice, I'm not sure why he didn't pit this lap, because he could have covered himself from Giuseppe behind him.
Yeah, he's also losing time to Giuseppe.
Yeah.
It's kind of... Not sure how the strategy... Maybe he's looking for a one-stop strategy. Maybe not. As Andrew Harper also made his pit stop, he's now P4, waiting for Sam, Ricardo, and Vidi Guest.
Yes, that's the leader, other leader in the pits.
Yeah, Vidi Guest is in the pits.
So Harper now.
Yeah, he has a whole lap to do. So let's see how this is going to turn out for between John Vidi Guest and Andrew Harper.
We're approaching the exact half of the race, so Vidi Guest on a one-stop.
Yeah, Vidi Guest was about 15 to 20 seconds ahead of Andrew Harper. Because Ricardo Riva will pass him. But he hadn't pitted yet, so it's provisionally first position. So Sebastian Rob Milik, and I think John Vidi Guest is still in the pit, yes. That's 30 seconds.
There we go.
Yeah.
Probably just fuel and tires.
Yeah, Andrew Harper is sector 3. I think the undercut doesn't, maybe the overcut has a better upper hand here. As looks like, look how Vidi Guest, how much his head is he is. It's about 30 seconds. Well, no, that's about 40 seconds.
Pretty much.
Yeah, wow.
30 to 35 seconds, so the gaps remain pretty much the same.
Yeah, it looks like the overcut is the one that works. Because he gained about 10 seconds ahead of Andrew Harper.
He was probably able to, maybe he saved some fuel and then he gave it everything at the last lap before the pit.
Might have not changed back tires, maybe something is right there, but if that's the case, then it's only good news for Andrew Harper. He still has about 44 minutes to shove down about 37 to 40 seconds, so...
Yeah, it still needs to gain almost 1 second per lap, though. That's not going to be easy on John Vidi Guest.
Judging by the lap time they're doing, that's not going to be easy for both drivers. As Tony Talviti is unable to I mean, he's right there.
Riva in the pits.
Yeah, Riva is going to be locked up.
DPI pitting right now.
Yeah,
basically everyone. DPI.
There's something about Tony Talviti, how he's unable. I mean, he catch up, but then loses all that time somewhere in the straight lines, or I don't understand. He's unable to get that car close to Pastore. Both of the Pastore guys, but he's hanging there for dear life. It's just not enough to get him close. And Nicola and Giuseppe are not giving him any chance of mistakes. So Tony
Talviti is actually gaining in the first sector, so he has much more top speed. I reckon he's running a lower wing because he's losing all the time in that central sector where Nicola Pastore is being able to stretch the gap, and then they're pretty even in the last section of the track. So Tony Talviti probably on a more loose car, I would say.
Yeah, as Andrew Harper passes Ricardo Riva, as he's still in the pit. Andrew Harper is making his way 31 seconds now behind John Vidi Guest. The time is going down. He shoved up a lot of time, so
yeah,
it's going great for Andrew.
Lucky with the lapping, maybe.
Might have been, yeah, but it's so far so good for Andrew Harper. Only 30 seconds and 43 minutes to go. I think he can get the job done if he keeps up this pace.
Yeah, although you have to think that Vidi Guest may be managing the gap. He knows Harper will be on it, but he is in an advantage position now. He can just settle down as Tony Talviti comes into the pits. This is critical for the race lead in GT3. Let's keep an eye on the Pastore boys because they were fighting pretty closely. There we see Giuseppe
Yeah, he's gonna get ahead and by a long shot. I mean, not sure how much time Tony Talviti is gonna spend. He's still in the pit, crossing 10 seconds right now. Giuseppe just past the last corner, going in the straight line. He sees Talviti there, so he's gonna be way ahead of Tony Talviti as he's still in the pit. What a long time to pit. But there you go, he exits.
There we go.
Yeah,
Bit of a long one, but not too long.
it's a long one, but he's gonna be way too far behind Giuseppe. Way too far. I think it was a mistake for him not to pit, as the Silva is also exiting.
Oh, and Talviti lost the place.
Oh, penalty for the
as
Silva.
well.
What? I think I figured out the issue, Lorenzo. I think the pit speed where it ends is not exactly where the game think it ends. So I think they switch off the speed limiter right at the lights.
The speed limiter, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not at the lights.
It's,
yeah. So yeah.
Such an unfortunate scenario, though.
Yeah.
I reckon one driver. It's a stop and go penalty, so that's pretty much the end of it for the Silva.
Yeah. I mean, he's in the last place, so I mean it's just
yeah, it doesn't change anything, but
yeah, but still
frustrating.
I mean, if there was any chance, it just completely takes it away.
The Silva, which is, by the way, the only Mazda running in DPI class.
Yeah, indeed. He's actually 3 cars are ahead of the Silva right now. I mean, not sure. I mean, he's got a pit again, so more GT cars will pass him.
Yeah, he's gonna emerge in the traffic, so terrific bad luck for Gilles da Silva.
Yeah, switch up to Barry Ericsson. Sitting comfortably in a P5. It's just
that's a good result with a McLaren that did not seem to be working as well as we expected. But Barrett Ericsson is a patient guy, and he will make the maximum out of every race, every situation. And if that's a P5, he will take it. He's the champion for a reason.
Yeah, Barrett Ericsson, there's this aura about him that he's just a calm dude, doesn't rush things. He didn't get a penalty. Hopefully, he would not jinxing or cursing the guy, but
oh, look at that! Almost getting out of shape out of the last corner. Riva had to take it.
I think he's gonna get a cut for that. Yeah, Riva was risking it there. Not sure why Riva is pushing that hard. He doesn't need to.
He didn't want to lose time probably behind Nicola Pastore, because Nicola Pastore is leading. He's now emerging behind Barrett Ericsson, but Barrett Ericsson is yet to pit. So
yeah, the Silva is serving his stop and go as the Pastore pitted, and that is Nicola Pastore. So wait a minute, why is Tony ahead? I don't understand. What happened to
Giuseppe? Something. I think Pastore had to pit again, actually.
Why?
Because he was ahead by a long shot and is now behind.
He's behind Johnny Gutierrez. He's P5.
He probably got a penalty.
He did not. I was looking.
Though.
No. What is going on, Lorenzo? How come?
I have no idea. He's actually 1 lap down.
So Nicola Pastore now is fighting Barrett Ericsson. They are actually fighting. He's not a lapped car.
Yeah,
Barrett Ericsson is P2.
Is 4th position, and he has everything to gain from this.
Wow.
This is also a psychological battle, because that shows that Barrett Ericsson can actually match the pace of the leaders.
Yeah, I was just talking about Barrett Ericsson, but I did not expect him to be suddenly in P2. I mean, things must have happened where we just didn't see it.
Yeah, and Nicola is getting frustrated. You can see that.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't commit another time bump again.
Yeah, he has to be careful. Barrett Ericsson is not pitting yet, so this is effectively for P2 in class.
Yeah, this is. I mean, he should be able to get a split stream here.
Yeah, look at the BMW closing out. McLaren is working pretty good, though.
I mean, it's not enough to lunge. He's gonna just look and then tuck it back to get that. No, he decided not to.
Oh man, that's applying the pressure.
That is. Yeah, but it was. Yeah.
Good exit from the
Good exit, yeah, absolutely.
McLaren was out of shape and wanting to use more track. They're now side by side going up to the.
Samir Arshad is gonna split them.
And Samir Arshad is gonna be. Oh, launching down the middle.
It looks like Nicola Pastore
chooses the safe.
Yeah, he got the job done.
And such a good driver, Barrett Ericsson, choosing to be wise instead of trying the dive bomb here.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I always say that the the driving IQ of Barry Ericsson is always high. No, he definitely knows what he's doing. For him, it's not just about the pace and being fast. It's about being smart.
Consistency.
And consistent as well, yeah. Look at him now, it's P3. So the only threat is Johnny Gutierrez. I'm not sure if Gutierrez had pitted yet or not, but yeah, I think, yeah, once the overlay decides to switch, we will see if he pitted or not. But so far, great performance by Barry Ericsson. Potential podium today for the guys. Johnny Gutierrez, 21 seconds. He's flying through the lap times. Last lap was almost 4 seconds faster than Barry Ericsson, but I assume because Barry Ericsson was fighting with the Pastori, so that's why his last lap was that slow compared to Johnny Gutierrez. As his best lap is 36.9, and there you go, another 36.1 by Johnny Gutierrez, absolutely flying. This is Didier Coelho. I think Didier Coelho, we haven't highlighted Didier Coelho for this race.
Didier Coelho was nowhere today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He's P13. So yeah, he's lapping the high 39, so he's pretty much off the pace.
Didier Coelho, usually we see him in the top 5, but it's like he decided to just chill this race, have his own race. Sits in a, I mean, he's P8, I mean, he's not that far from the top 5, he's in the top 10 for sure. But yeah, 44 seconds now, it's more actually, because De Silva is ahead of him, even though he's in a different class, so that's about a whole minute or more.
Yeah, look at that, he's aiming to back off, because that's Johnny Gutierrez and Giuseppe Pastore, which are battling directly.
Yeah, he's a lap car
really
too.
Hounding Johnny Gutierrez there, and we do know that Johnny Gutierrez is a very aggressive driver, but very effective in his moves. It's really going to be interesting to see Giuseppe Pastore, which is one of the stars of the championship now.
Yeah, this is actually a fight I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Lorenzo.
We were saying the other race that we would have liked to see Pastore in GT since Johnny Gutierrez was there, and yeah, there we have it.
Yeah, actually, this is very
Pastore
interesting.
getting a good run out of the
Yeah.
last corner. Gutierrez not being able to hold the line.
Yeah, but it's not giving up.
No, it's not. Oh, look
Giuseppe
at this.
gets the lead. Looks like there's a bump there.
Side by side.
Yeah, there's a bump there or some weird purpose, and I don't know. Yeah, it looks like
Giuseppe has the line up the inside.
Yeah, he
Johnny
took the
Gutierrez
inside.
weird winds himself up for the good exit.
Yeah, Johnny Gutierrez looks like he just gave it away, but he nothing much he can do because he was on the outside line. As Andrew Harper is about to lap him right now. Andrew Harper, 26 seconds and still going down. He got some work to do. I mean, 30 minutes, 34 minutes to go. He needs to.
He needs about
Giuseppe.
1.5 seconds.
It looks like he was going sideways.
Yeah, it was out of shape. The BMW, either Giuseppe is pushing very hard, or that BMW has some kind of rearward damage.
Yeah, he was actually going sideways. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the lag. The car was going sideways as a rally car. Weird to see, but overall, it looks like he's building a gap.
Passing.
Yeah, he's building a gap to Johnny Gutierrez. So. Andrew Harper took his time, didn't want to rush him, but that also cost him about 4 seconds. So, not sure if that was smart to do.
What I'm surprised on is Tony Talvice being 12 seconds clear in P1 in class. It's amazing. Look at Nicola there in the background.
Yeah, he's about 4.3 seconds behind Tony Talvice. Wow, this is what I told you about Tony. He was just lurking there and waiting for something to go wrong, and apparently things did go wrong for the Pastori guys.
He made his calculation, probably saved some fuel, managed his tires, and yeah, there you have a perfect example of what a strategy should be like. Tony Talvice really starting from a back foot position and having to settle down in P3 for most of the first stint, and optimizing the strategy to jump everyone and get himself to P1. It's a great piece of strategy by Tony.
Absolutely. great drive as well. John Viti Guest is about to lap, and John Viti Guest is having a blast today, leading the race.
Absolutely king of the castle right now.
Yeah, he's leading the race. Different class. I assume he was not on the DPI class last race. He was on the GT3.
No, it was on the GT. I think he
Yeah.
was running the Porsche, maybe.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
not sure.
But yeah, look
John
at
Vitiges's last lap was actually pretty slow. It was a high 28, while Andrew Harper did a 27.3. So Andrew Harper responding, but
this
it's not
is
going to be enough.
yeah. But to be honest, Lorenzo, John Viti Guest is absolutely fine. It's not his job now to
Yeah.
close the gap. It's just to maintain his tires.
He's on the Harper. He has the upper hand right now. He's in first place. He has valuable track position, a bunch of GT cars to protect himself. And 26 seconds gap between him and Harper. Harper will not be able to catch him at this pace.
Absolutely. Oh, Coelho gets a penalty. Let me guess. The pit stop incident again. Yeah, look, he's exiting. He got a drive-through.
Drive-through penalty. So
Wow,
that's
looks
harsh.
They're getting tricked, the drivers. They think it's where the light ends or where there's like a white line. But I think it's something wrong with the track that you still have to keep it until you see the depending on what overlay you have, until you see that it's actually green, then you take it off. Yeah, what a
It's such a shame to see all
Yeah.
these drivers getting penalties.
for something that's not their fault.
Nicola Pastore is cutting the gap now. He gained 9/10 of a second on Tony Telvice in the first sector alone. He's now lapping 1.9 seconds faster. So this is gonna be.
He gets passed.
Telvice had some kind of a problem. Oh, he's pitting.
So it is a two-stop.
Yeah, I told you, Nas. It's a two-stopper. He was too early to pit when he pitted. It was almost 1 hour left, so a two-stopper for Tony Telvice. Not sure Pastore is gonna do the same.
Looks like the strategy is absolutely different than what we thought.
Yeah, it's completely different. Maybe we do not have valuable data on tire wear.
Yeah, it's the last place, Richard Charlesworth, 40 seconds.
Yeah, his race was. He took a massive toll at the beginning with that crash with Gutierrez. His BMW suffered big damage after contact with the wall. So
Yeah, he got a drive-through and a stop and go.
Plenty of stuff happened to him, but
Yeah.
I think he should get more recognizable in the next few races because he was lapping pretty much the same times as Gutierrez, which is a front runner effectively, throughout the entire first half of the race. So good stuff, Richard. Try again next time. We are looking forward to see you battle with those guys again.
I'm sure he's gonna bounce back and come stronger. Yeah, he'll definitely come back stronger. He was showing great pace today. It's just that unfortunate things happened, track problem, crash with Johnny and so on. But yeah,
You know, Nas, when I told you about the McLaren and
Yes, sir.
Ericsson being lurker, Ericsson is now up to P2. How
Wow.
about that?
that is something I would love to see. Actually, that is amazing.
Garrett Ericsson playing the strategy to perfection. He's
Yeah.
now put himself in behind the two Pastore guys.
Yeah, so actually sometimes being smart pays off. It does pay off big time. And it's surely
You really need to be patient. You really gotta train your head and your mind to not get carried away with the battles. It's an endurance race, so you're not gonna win an endurance race in lap 1.
oh, absolutely. You're not gonna win it in one corner as well. You definitely need to
Yeah.
take your time, calculate your move, understand what you can, what you can't do. As De Silva is making his way through Ed Jones and Joe Brown. Here we see the beautiful skin that Joe likes to run on every car. This time the
Albice
Bentley.
pitting again, I think. Oh no, that's weird. The overlay showed the pit time still going on, so
Yeah, maybe it was
Not
showing
sure
how
what-
much time he spent on his first pit stop or second pit stop. Joe Brown goes wide there. Turned out to be a very long race.
holding the outside line really doesn't hurt the tires. quite as bad as although the inside line is right there, because it's a very long, it almost seems endless, the last corner, and you really hurt the left-hand tires, so it's a smart way of managing the tire wear. Gap between Andrew Harp and John Villegas is actually increasing now, so effectively the grid looks cemented. Samir Rashad in P4, Ricardo Riva P3. That's DPI right now. Tony Talvice, current leader in the standings. Really great race by the driver. Nicola Pastore actually leading GT3 right now in the race. He was running the DPI last time around, so this is going to be his first outing. Barrett Eriksson in P2 really holding the pace up, although Giuseppe Pastore is right with him with the beautiful red and blue BMW. There we see Barrett Eriksson in the background. Giuseppe Pastore hounding him on lap times. This is going to be a good battle because we know these two drivers are very clean, very consistent, and what we expect is to see both of these guys fight with each other, as we now see the time gap between John Villegas and Andrew Harper. Gap is 23 seconds, but it's almost the same as the time left into the race, so it's not gonna be easy Harper to catch back. It's about 1.5 to 1.6 seconds per lap now. John Villegas looks in control with the beautiful blue and black livery on the Acura DPI. Thing is, Tony Talvice is flying right now. He lapped mid 33 in GT, which is a very good lap. For example, Gil da Silva, who is on a DPI, is lapping the 29s. So Tony Talvice is barely 3 seconds off the DPI time. That should tell you a lot about him in space. Gap coming up to 25 seconds between John Villegas and Andrew Harper. As we see Ricardo Riva in the pits. This is going to be critical because we do know that he was chasing Andrew Harper, and he was also trying to defend himself from Samir Rashad, which is now approaching the front straightaway. Samir Rashad was basically put on the back foot by that drive-through penalty. He's now gone ahead of Riva. Riva on a two-stop strategy probably. He needs to be careful. He needs to be very careful, as we now see a penalty assigned to Charlesworth again. Such a dismal race for Charlesworth today. Such an unfortunate situation with Gutierrez, and one thing after the other has put himself back to P16 overall. Samir Rashad one lap down towards Harper, so very good show from Samir. First outing with the DPI. As we now watch Joe Brown and Barrett Eriksson going at it at the end of the top 10 overall. as we see Michael Labelle having damage on the Audi R8 and going into the pits. What has happened now to the guy? Such a weird race today, because that was Michael Labelle was consistent all race long. He kept his cool in the first, basically the first 45 minutes. He was running the top 5. Now that's his third visit to the pit stop. Look at that! He's missed the breaking point there for the pit slot. Such a bad mistake there from Michael, but hopefully he can fight back. As always, guys, if you want to be part of this great spectacle of racing, go check SimRacingOnline.co.uk. They produce good racing series on here on R Factor 2, as well as Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. Support the series by following eitharacingteam on Twitch and joining our Discord. Link is in the chat. And yeah, support. This is going to be a great series, and we look forward to broadcasting all the other races. Calendar can be found both on simracingonline.co.uk and on eitharacingteam's Discord chat. Details of the series can be asked here or on SimRacingOnline forum. Pastore leading in GT class P5 overall. If that's gonna be confirmed, that's gonna be a biblical effort from Nicola, really showing his pace both with the DPI and the GT3. Complete versatile driver. Now approaching the last corners and about to lap Didier Coelho. Didier Coelho had he was on the back foot throughout the entire race today, and basically find a good setup with the Ferrari 488. We know Coelho has been able to produce some great races previously, as we now see Charlesworth getting yet another penalty. That's a 10-second stopper go for pit limiter infringement. Andrew Harper just made the best first sector of the entire race. He's basically now trying to put pressure on Vidi Guest again, but the gap is just too much. Andrew Harper in his zone, pretty much, about 20 seconds towards VD Guest in P1 and DPI. Now, Andrew Harper repeated again, so let's see what Guest does to cover himself up. He was about 26 to 27 seconds ahead, so maybe he will not need to worry about Harper regaining time, but you can never discount Harper from a fight like this. We know his pace, we know his... oh, it almost goes wide there. We know his consistency is pretty good, so Vitigas really has to keep an eye on the timesheets as well. We now see Johnny Gutierrez being approached by Nicola Pastore and Samir Arshad, leader. Nicola Pastore being the leader in GT3. DPI choosing to be quite patient to pass Johnny, now going around the outside before the technical part of the track. Autódromo Hermanos Rodriguez, situated in Mexico City. It's a great track, historic track. As I said in the beginning, it was built in the 1960s. He used to have a pretty fast last corner called the Peraltada, where Nigel Mansell made that amazing move on Gerhard Berger in the 1990 Mexican Grand Prix in Formula One. The Peraltada was modified later due to the safety reasons that put Mexico track on the radar of the FIA. We're talking about an era where safety was going to become more and more important. Sadly, a few drivers would get a bad crash in the mid-90s, as we know, but really shows how the racetracks have been renewed over the years, as we now see a great facility here in Mexico, and the fans really making a show for it as well. Crowded races, and the fans really making the presence for the drivers. Now, Gutierrez is being approached by Harper. Harper will not be patient to pass him. He will want to get the BMW out of the way quickly. Goes around the outside, basically a twin move of what we saw earlier with Arshad lapping the BMW. Tony Talvice, one of the most consistent drivers of the lot, is now lapping the mid 34s, whereas Giuseppe Pastore in front of him just lapped 35 too. So not a big difference, but over the course of the race, the gaps have been getting larger and larger, and this shows that even if you have the same car, different setups do make a difference. We know for a fact that Tony Talvice can afford a lower position today because he got a great result in race 1, as we now get a yellow flag in sector 2. Not sure what's that about. Probably someone making a mistake and getting slightly offline. Tony Talvice really clean on those curbs, now approaching the last corner. So we now arrive to the 15 minutes mark, basically about 8 laps left for the GT class, a little bit more than that for the DPIs, which, as we know, are quite faster. Oh, and there's a car smoking at the end of the straight, not sure who that is. Yeah, it was... Oh, that's Ricardo Riva locking up. Sorry about that. He was a big lockup into turn 1 by Ricardo Riva. He needs to be careful because flat spots can be costly here.
To Ricardo Riva, as I wasn't...
Ricardo pitted, he was on a 2-stop strategy. So he pitted again, and that cost him time towards Arshad.
Well, so far, things have changed a lot. Andrew Harper, 92 seconds behind John Vitiest. Not sure what the intention of Andrew Harper. Maybe Vitiest is running a 1-stop. But that's a large time to be ahead of somebody. While Samir Arshad is also 99 seconds behind Andrew Harper. No way. He's actually a lap down. So for him to catch up to Andrew Harper is going to be a bit of a bit of an impossible mission since we only have 12 minutes to go.
Unless Harper has a problem, that's gonna be impossible.
Yeah, which we do not wish. Nicola Pastori is still in the lead.
This is a fight I want to see more often. Joe Brown getting himself mixed up with the leaders. Joe Brown was really one of the front runners in the previous series, the S397 Endurance series. I want to see him battle again at the front. I think he deserves it as well.
He absolutely does. I mean, look at the guy, the absolute respect. Seeing a blue flag immediately, leaving the space for the guy to pass. Absolute sportsmanship, absolute great man to have on track every time, and we really
Yellow flag in sector 2 again.
Yeah. Like Lorenzo said, I can't wait to see this guy back in the top again where he belongs. He's actually in P4, sorry, ahead of Barry Erickson. So technically he's still in the top, but we'd like to see him back in the podium. So he's like he needs one position back. But that Tony Talviti we know is not a guy that just gives it away. As he sees him pass Rob Milliken, a lapped car. Currently in P3, 21 seconds behind Giuseppe Pastori. Barry Erickson fell down to P5. Sorry, 18 seconds behind Joe Brown. And
look at this for a fight, though.
Yeah,
Johnny Gutierrez and Barry Erickson going at it. That's a pretty good fight. The champion in GT3 in the previous series against the champion in LMP1 in the previous series.
Yeah, this is the battle of champions.
Yeah. Look at that. Johnny Gutierrez working better on the exit.
Hopefully he takes his time this time and not rush it as he did with Richard, because he definitely can get a move done if he just put his head down and look for the right move, because he goes a little bit wide there. Johnny knows that Barry Erickson isn't the type of guy that just makes a mistake as we cross the time limit mark, so he has to just be patient. 9 minutes to go, about 6 or 5 laps should be enough for yeah.
Maybe 5 if they get lucky with the checker flag.
Yeah, it depends on the DPIs, but Gutierrez definitely has the pace to get better, but Barry Erickson, man, he's not just gonna give it easy.
Absolutely not, and the McLaren is working pretty good. Johnny Gutierrez probably still suffering from early damage. The BMW is quite the most balanced car, I would say, but if you can get the McLaren to work properly, it's basically an unstoppable machine. That monocoque chassis is working pretty good with the GT3 regulations. So both of these machines are very, very good and very, very hard to race in a competitive way. So really great to see Barrett and Johnny going at it at such a good track like Mexico. So I look forward to these battles in the next few races. Now BMW winding up for a good exit there. He's gonna try for sure. Barrett Hickson holds the inside to protect himself as Ricardo Riva comes to lap these guys.
Yeah, Johnny Gutierrez is definitely in the contention to get that P5. But he just needs to be a little bit patient. But Barry Erickson, with his usual livery, is still holding on in the front. Ed Jones following them right behind. It's about Michael Labella is a lap ahead as John VDS is about to pass Ed Jones. I think the part where there's the S corners is the tricky part to make a pass for the DPI cars. So this is definitely the place where you don't want to be around traffic, because the amount
absolutely not. It also ruins the downforce.
Exactly, I was gonna say that the amount of downforce these cars generate is definitely greater than the GT cars. So when a slower car is ahead of you, you have nothing to do but slow down, which compromises your gap if you're chasing somebody or if you're being followed. So, Rob Milliken is also right behind Ed Jones. Milliken is a respectful P8. Up 49, he's safe from Didier Coelho.
Yeah, solid effort from Rob today. Solid effort.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. P8. I think it's a good result for today. Didier Coelho as well has made 2 positions actually. He's now ahead of Richard, even though he got a drive-through. I remember he got a stop-and-go penalty maybe. But he's in the top 10. Actually, he's a P9 now ahead of
He actually
Richard.
got a drive-through penalty for a pit limiter infringement.
And he's still ahead of the Richard, which he himself also got. I think he got 2 penalties.
Yeah, Richard got 2 drive-throughs and 1 stop-and-go. So terrible race.
Absolutely.
In that regard.
Michael Labelle right behind them.
Yeah, Michael Labelle collected quite a bit of damage at the 20 minutes mark. His Audi R8 was limping the pit.
Yeah, he lost so many places. He was actually all the way at the top 5 fighting with the...
Yeah, but Michael Labelle was the underdog of the day today. He did an amazing start. He was up to P5 for most of the first stint. And then the race kind of deteriorated after that because he got a penalty and then he collected damage from an earlier spin. So I think he has shown good potential today. And we should keep an eye on him in the next few races.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's familiar. He's been on the other championship. He was driving LMP cars. So
yeah,
LMP2.
LMP2.
This might be a new territory for Michael Labelle, but he's absolutely putting a good show. I mean, fortunate stuff happened, but
I think he's actually showing a better racecraft in the Audi R8 than he was in the Oreca LMP2.
Yeah, his pace is really clean,
Up to the standards, effectively. And we know for a fact that the Audi R8 is not exactly the best car on the lot. So good stuff from Michael.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As we switch to the man of the race, John V.D. Guest, in the lead of the DPI, ahead of Andrew Harper, 80 seconds ahead. Wow, Lorenzo, wow. Astonishing performance by John V.D. Guest.
That's a lot of time.
It is, yeah.
John V.D. Guest, absolutely finest strategy of the race. Look at Arshad in P3 as well. A good effort from the Italian driver as well.
Yeah, Arshad as well as...
Gilles da Silva confirming his place in the top 5. And Riva being very unlucky. I don't know how he lost 2 laps towards Gilles da Silva, but something must have happened to Riva, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like Riva absolutely has the pace to put that car in that podium today, but it just lacks a bit of that consistency. But
although this is for position,
not sure it is for position because the Silva is yeah, he's 4 laps ahead.
Riva is 2 laps down.
Yeah, sorry, 2 laps.
I just said that, and then I got myself carried away. But yeah, Riva is 2 laps down towards.
Yeah, he's trying to unlap himself. Yeah. Wow, what a not a race to remember for Sir Ricardo. He's following.
I'm sure he will bounce back.
Absolutely,
he always does. Gilles da Silva with the Mazda. Him and Harper are the only Mazdas in the field. All the other cars in DPI are Acuras.
It's pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Regulations are pretty much the same for both of these cars. They are both in the DPI category. The Mazda has a different approach to the front end. He has a more clean, less aggressive profile. rear end wise, the Mazda privileges more, you know, flat kind of setup, while the Acura prefers naturally a rake setup. So what you want for the rake is the car to be very precise on the front end, with a maybe a little bit loose rear end. So you have to manage the oversteer, but we are talking about prototypes here, so we're talking about huge amounts of downforce, so oversteer shouldn't be a problem. Now, we do know for a fact that the Acura has been the meta DPI this season, so it's nice to see the Mazdas holding ground.
Oh, indeed. As Andrew Harper is lapping Samir Arshad, gets blue flag right there. He's trying to get the position. Actually not. He's trying to pass Johnny Gutierrez himself as well. Andrew Harper is a lap ahead of Samir Arshad, so...
Yeah, and playing it safe, rightfully so.
Yeah, as he's passing Johnny Gutierrez, who's been fighting Barrett Ericsson for the past 10 minutes or more. Ooh, that's something you don't see every day. Well, ooh, what's going on? Looks like Andrew car just stopped. I'm sure it didn't, it was just lag, but Gutierrez was there and had nowhere to go. It didn't look like a lot of damage. As he tried to sweep.
Yeah, but there was contact though, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean the last race was an absolute disaster when it came to bandwidth. The internet of the server, or the latency, was horrible,
yeah,
horrific.
Stefan was kind of rough.
Yeah, but it looks like this is a big improvement.
Yeah, a very big improvement.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you can see the cars going around, not like going left and right and flying, hovering in the air. So,
Johnny Gutierrez is absolutely crying for that position on Barrett Ericsson, but Barrett Ericsson, the positioning that McLaren in the right spot to avoid losing the place. This is going to be the last lap for these races.
It is the last lap, yeah, so if there's something Gutierrez can do, it has to be this lap. They have not...
Absolutely, it's all or nothing.
It is all or nothing indeed. As he knows it, he's probably going to go for a lunge, but he's way too far, so he's thinking about it. Barrett Ericsson is covering with all what he's got, even though he knows...
He's also able to get a good traction. Johnny Gutierrez did not prepare himself well for the exit. This is one of the few overtaking places here in Mexico. There's probably one more left, so
this is
Gutierrez has to try everything now.
The race is over for you guessed, he finished the race, first position. We kind of missed that because I think
Johnny,
yeah,
the race, Harper.
I think John Villegas passed it right as the time was like finished.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, as we see Andrew Harper
approaching the last sector now.
Yeah,
let's cut back to Gutierrez though, because he's hunting Ericsson.
Ooh, sending it through the inside.
Look at that, sending it.
Oh, he has the inside line. This is no, but Barrett Ericsson cuts it.
Great move to defend, but Gutierrez is gonna be able.
This is the last corner if he has to do anything. Oh, I think it's over. Yeah, it's over.
It's over. Barrett Ericsson is able to stretch the gap.
Yeah.
Gutierrez will have to settle for his position.
D5 for Barrett Ericsson as he crosses the checkered flag, followed by Johnny Gutierrez.
Gutierrez is not happy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's absolutely not. That was a frustrating move, but it's allowed. It's allowed.
And we also want to underline the 1-2 by Pastore.
Ooh, doing a burnout with Samir Arshad.
Doing donuts right there. They're quite happy. So after a major event here at Mexico City, the race is finally over as we see the John Villegas P1, Harper in P2, Arshad P3, and yeah, the DPI field really with a big gap in the race. We now see Nicola Pastore and Samir Rashad making their way to the Parc Fermé. Exhibition lap for Nicola, who won the race again with a great strategy. Battle of the day is probably Johnny Gutierrez against Barrett Ericsson, and curbs making their work pretty much. Our Factor 2 is kind of weird sometimes. I was expecting drivers to have problems with the curves, but they probably knew that avoiding them was going to be the best choice. And we now will shortly show you the results from today's race as we are working on the overlays. And good race, forgot to change tires. Well, yeah, that's a bit unlucky, but you get him next time. Mr. Rosmo in the Twitch chat. John Vidigas winning in DPI. Andrew Harper getting a P2. Samir Ershad P3. Ricardo Gil da Silva with an amazing race in P5. Ricardo Riva with a great first stint, but unfortunately was not able to capitalize on the position. Finishes P6. Winner in GT class, Nicola Pastore, P2 for Giuseppe Pastore, his brother. And as I said, battle of the day is Barrett Ericsson against Johnny Gutierrez, a battle that lasted all the way until the last corner. Yeah, good racing overall, isn't it, Nas?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolute good race. As our Factor 2 again giving us the hard times, not letting us show the results. It's been acting weird today, but yeah, good race, absolutely good race. Love to see Barrett Ericsson fight for that P5. It was an absolute fight until the end. And congratulations to John VD Guest, a first win in the DPI class, as well as to Pastore, who got the win as well in the GT class. Amazing job by these drivers. So yeah, what a great race, actually. What an absolute great race. So we'll show you the schedule.
We'll surely be joined by some of the drivers from today's race.
Ooh, do we have an interview to do today, Lorenzo?
Yes, we do have. We have Samir Rashad in the chat, as well as Giuseppe Pastore, Nicola Pastore, and Riccardo Riva, all the guys from ETA Racing Team. Sam, starting with you, please. What was the approach with the strategy? We saw you following Riccardo closely at the beginning, and then suddenly you were in front.
Suddenly first lap I jump started John, and then we had the first 3 laps crazy with a lot of passes and defense in the first corner, and my pace was not up for P1 or P2, so we started losing time, and then we decided to switch position with Rick, and after the race I think it didn't pay off, but we had great time together driving through the last stint, because I had a drive-through and he also had a drive-through, because I think he had a cut in the middle of the race and then he had damage. But overall, I think today we didn't had 1 second on the pace on John and Harper. They were the quickest, but since it's the first one, I'm happy. Messi was not easy, especially because the middle sector is very hard.
May I ask you, Sam, today, it looks like the pace of today was not up to what I assume you expected. So can you tell us what was going on today and what made you go through What was making you have a hard time today? Because that's absolutely not the pace we expect from you, Samir. So what happened?
Especially in the stadium section, I had a lot of lag. I don't know why, but and I did struggle a bit from understeer in the middle sector. But apart from that, I think I have a half a second of gap. But we can recover that, especially since the next race is at Barcelona, and we do have me and Enrique a lot of experience there. We will be, I think, fighting for the win for sure.
Well, we can't wait to see you on the next track, Samir. Hopefully, you bounce back from what happened today. Um,
Joining us from the DPI class again is Tom Parton. Very unfortunate race for Tom today. Problem earlier put him out of contention. Tom, can you please talk us through the problem?
Yeah, no problem. First of all, it's GT3 class.
Oh, GT3. Sorry
Yeah,
about
it's
that.
GT3. So, actually had a decent start, and actually, for once, had some pace in the car. Qualifying wasn't too good, but once the fuel was in the car felt really stable. The issue I had was that the game froze on me entirely. Just the game froze up entirely and put me in the barrier, and that was game over. But other than that, it was going to be a pretty good race for me. Had a good battle with Rob for the
Yeah,
entire
so
first 30 minutes.
you were fighting for the upper midfield up until the problem. It's such a weird way of finishing a race. Air Factor 2 can be harsh.
It's the same
on,
issue I had at Turkey, if you remember last season.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes, I do remember.
So unfortunately, that happened again. So I need to get to the bottom of that. But I think today I probably could have caught Barrett with the pace that the car had. Like I say, the battle with Rob was fantastic. I'm going to watch the stream back and watch from your perspective if that was on stream, because I'd like to see what was going on from the outside. And obviously, with the game crashing, I don't have the replay, the RF2 replay.
I will send you.
Yeah,
Don't
it
worry.
frozen you completely, but we will send it to you.
No problem. I did have a question as well for Nicola or Giuseppe, or both. You guys were stupendously quick on those straights. Were you running the Le Mans Aero kit by any chance?
No,
No.
no, we can give you the setup.
No rear wing is best rear wing, right?
Yes, wing one, yes.
Okay, fair enough. I could not get on with P1 wing this weekend at all.
Yeah, it's not easy because you have elsewhere then problems. Maybe in the corner exit or in the fast corners, you have to take care even more with the wing one. But in the end, it works with the BMW because it has so much grip and it's easy to drive. It's easy to drive on the limit, so it's not the issue with the wing one.
But yeah, congrats to you two on the 1-2 as well. So that was a fantastic showing.
Thank you.
Giuseppe, what an absolute fantastic race today! Absolute great performance. Love to see your race. Congratulations, first of all. How does it feel like winning a race in Mexico and getting that absolute win and dominating like always?
It was quite fun. I never drove this track before. Yeah, but it felt quite fun. I was a bit unlucky with the prototype that I got drive-through after it because I needed to go wide in the fast section. But yeah, Mexico is a great track actually. I never thought the stadium section was so tight, so it was something new for me.
Now that we know that you, with the performance you had, what do you expect for the next race in Barcelona? Are you prepared? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, we try to prepare as best as possible. Of course, we're missing some practice time here and there, but we think we are quite prepared every time when we race. I expect to have good battles with Nicola. As always, it's quite interesting to see how sometimes it's sometimes decided from thousands, how is the word behind the tent?
No,
What is
sorry to interrupt you.
Hundreds.
what is the hundreds?
Yeah.
Our qualifying pace is always like hundreds or
Millisecond,
like
yeah.
so close. So yeah, we have always quite fun together. So I expect to battle him again. Let's see how it goes. I mean, it's always so tight, and every mistake can cost you the race. So we are on the limit, and sometimes happens that you are too far in the limit. But yeah, I mean, it's always fun.
Oh, it absolutely is.
I have a question on for Tom. How are you gonna approach Barcelona next time? Are you gonna go for an aggressive first stint, or what's your plan?
Interesting. We'll find out when we get there. So far, we haven't done any practice ready for Barcelona. Myself and Joe need to work on a setup for that one. Get the Bentleys running again. Maybe we might have Alex back with us this week as well, next time as well. He couldn't make today's race. We tend to just kind of do our strategy on the fly more than anything. We don't really plan anything in advance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Depends how the start goes. If we have a poor start, then obviously you're in damage limitation mode. If you have a decent start, like myself today, I jumped Didier Coelho off the line and found myself right on Rob's bumper all race, which I was not expecting. So obviously I went on the attack and probably burnt up my tyres a bit more than I usually would at the start of a race. So it'll depend on how we start Barcelona and how much carnage there is into T1.
Absolutely. And the Bentley was looking to be working quite well today at Mexico. I was not expecting the Bentley to be that nimble especially in the middle sector. Didn't look as heavy as it was probably meant to be, I want to say. But what was your feeling with the car?
We had a very good setup with the car itself. The Bentley, we found the Bentley to be very stable over the last season, this season. Whenever we've raced the Bentley in GT3, it's been planted, stable. It feels like driving a sofa, shall I say? It's very, very easy on the curbs, steady, stable, and just does what you want it to do. We were running a little bit more rear downforce than we probably would have liked. That was probably evident in the fact that I couldn't overtake Rob down the straights, but we had a bit more rear downforce on to help with the middle of the track with the S's and the technical sections. But on lighter fuel, it was very twitchy, shall we say, which is probably why I didn't get a qualifying lap put together too well. I only qualified P9, but in the race with full fuel on, the car felt really, really good.
I mean, Tom Parton, the last two races has been nothing but disasters. I'm sure you're looking very much for Barcelona and trying to redeem yourself, should I say, to get the best results for Barcelona.
We can try. Malaysia the last 2 weeks ago was unfortunate because I felt I was having a good race until I got collected into the final corner by, I think it was Lewis. I think Lewis collected me in the final corner. And then on the same lap, or the next lap, I may have come down the gears a bit too quick and blown the gearbox, which is why I ended up DNFing. And now they've put the gearbox protection in the BMW, which I could have done with that 2 weeks ago. And obviously this week, I had the crash, but the game crash. So hopefully we'll get things sorted for Barcelona. Things will be a bit more stable, computer-wise or game-wise, and we'll try and get some mid-table points. If Giuseppe, Nicola, and Tony are racing at the same pace they are this week as they are in Barcelona, then podium's definitely off the cards. I'd like a strong mid-table finish. I'd be happy with that.
I wouldn't take you out of the equation, Tom Parton. You don't know what can happen. I mean, we've seen many races before, and drivers we don't expect ends up winning or getting a podium. So I'm sure you'll bounce back, and we'll be rooting for you, Tom. Hopefully this time the game doesn't fail you. Yeah, and you've got some fans in the chat, sometimes trying to jinx it for you, I would say.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
a couple of the friends try and.
Yeah, so you should watch out for that.
Meerkat is one of our HSR racers, Hexim racers, and the guy that does all the paint jobs. I know you guys are a big fan of the paint schemes we come up with.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
the livery was great.
Mine wasn't showing properly on stream for some reason. That was my old Bentley one. Mine should look like Joe, exactly the same as Joe's, but with blue end plates and blue mirrors.
Yeah, Refactor 2 after the last update, they have caused a big issue with the skins. We were supposed to run with our livery, but since the last update is very buggy and very impossible to load your own skin.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you ever get confused of who you're watching from HSR in this particular series, if all three of us are racing in the same car, we'll all have the same skin. Joe has green end plate, wing end plates and mirrors. I have blue, and I think Alex runs orange.
Definitely.
So that's how you'll tell us apart.
Oh yeah, we'll keep that in mind for sure.
Definitely.
We have unfortunately found out about this problem yesterday in the DTM race. We had 3 liveries ready, and it was messed up completely. It was really a mayhem with the skins. So yeah, it's we'll figure it out.
No problem.
Well, Tom, Nicola, both Nicolas, Ricardo, Samir as well. Thank you very much for taking time to join us, have a chit chat with us. It's always great to hear the perspective of the drivers, because commentating is not the same as being in the moment and actually driving the car. So much appreciated from me and Lorenzo as well. It was great having you with us. We can't wait to see you guys in Barcelona. We wish the best luck to you and all drivers as well. And in this beautiful, lovely evening, I wish you a wonderful day, and then we'll see you in the next race. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.